do think you should pay some attention to the part where Sideshow literally stole Gillfrost's tie. You don't steal semi-left guy's tie.
I don't know what's going on there as well. It's like Sideshow's cosplaying as like an insurance salesman or something. Like I don't know. I don't know. You know, the Analysts, they do their thing. They do their thing. But Hanamura is the map we're going to. Assault as a game mode. Is this the turning point? We said the same thing in the previous series with, you know, the previous game of E United versus 1-2-3. We said, you know, this is E United's time to shine. Are we expecting similar performances? Do they have particularly special Sombra players? What are we thinking here, ZP?
Well, for Bazooka Puppiez, they are more comfortable on Hanamura. If you think back to when they were up against Gamers Origin, they were able to take Hanamura away from them versus that Doomfist. Of course, this is a very different team from Gamers Origin. C9 does not rely on the Doomfist quite as much. And frankly, I think C9 just has a very strong tank front line, as we were talking about. So, I don't know. This is still going to be very difficult for Bazooka Puppiez. I think they are going to have to find an extra level beyond whatever you want to analyze here if they are going to bring this back. Because every leading indicator right now says that C9 is still coming into this with a rather large advantage.
On paper, especially. Like, you're looking at the statistics, the previous performances. They should be the ones to win this one out. But you mentioned it. Bazooka Puppiez played against Gamers Origin. Was that the same game where Gamers Origin ended up switching to the Reinhardt composition when they were pushing the final checkpoint and beefed it?
I think it was.
It might have been, yeah. I mean, and you can't really expect Cloud9 to make similar mistakes to that. So moving into this, especially because Cloud9 have been completely reluctant to run the Reinhardt composition. They've been much more comfortable with Mozaza just sticking to the Winston, you know. Reinforced mentioned earlier, Mozaza, the only time he's really ever played Reinhardt was when, way back when he was playing on a Hollywood first defense. He played it then with some cheese comp containing Orisa and Tourbillon. But now a different team, different scenario. Cloud9 much more comfortable with the dive. And they're playing up against Bazooka Puppiez. Bazooka Puppiez are on the offensive this time. They're on the attack. And are they going to be rolling out with this? You know, it's not an uncommon pick. We do see the Widowmaker sometimes.
We do see the Widow on first point assault, but not going to happen here. And what I was going to mention before he just cruelly swapped it away is that it's a little bit rare to see it from Ube. If they were going to run the Widow here, it'd make a lot more sense to throw it to Nesh. He is the more historical hit scan specialist, and instead, there will be no Widowmaker in play. Bazooka Puppiez going to keep this pretty standard here, Bren, as they look to move in on the attack. And there you see it, Nesh moving right in, and the rest of the Bazooka Puppiez are going to follow off of that barrier.
This is just the standard play for Hanamura first point. Every single team almost really goes for this sort of push, this initial push where you push onto the high ground, because it is very effective. You can play around the angles, you can play around the half pack, you can really just utilize your heals effectively, and you can wait for that initial pick, which is exactly what Bazooka Puppiez are looking to do now with the Discord Orbs, laying in the damage. If they can get even a single pick off, this could be beautiful for them.
And right now they have good positioning. They're giving themselves some time to heal up after taking damage on the way in. So this is a good engagement. Now they get to the point and they're forcing C9 to react. C9 now, they have to move in and contest this, which they are. They throw the D.Va onto the point, but it's still very back and forth as finally Mendez poked down and C9 can turn the tables right now.
C9 with that one pick advantage, still going to be starting to play the point. They don't want to be getting too aggressive at the end of the day because Bazooka Puppiez are having a current sort of positioning advantage holding onto the high ground. But here we have it. Another nano boost being popped off onto Mozaza. We see this play time and time again, and it actually forces out the Transcendence from Rubicon. Bazooka Puppiez, they want to fight this. They want to move it in. Great post bomb by Nesh. Will actually get the D-Mech. That's exactly what they needed for this startup fight here, ZP.
And even though Nevex was trying to pull some heroics there towards the end, it's not enough. Ube able to slam the door right in C9's face. The Transcendence from Rubicon. Risky, but pays off. And what we're seeing here is just cleanup from Nesh. A janitor in his own right now as the final kills do roll in.
I firmly believe if Nesh did not get that pulse bomb onto space and get the D-Mech in that nick of time, that would have been a completely different fight, because without the defense matrix, you notice there in the tail end of that fight, the supports, they could just basically leave them and focus on the DPS players. You know, there was no pressure to really sort of focus and prioritize the back lines of the composition. Now, Bazooka Puppiez, they're moving into this CP, and I can see you, you're eager. You're eager. Tell me, ZP, what information do you have?
The information is that C9 had a really good defense there. They have plenty of ultimates to defend. Bazooka Puppiez, they're not really able to come in here at the momentum that they would like from a long fight like that, so they have to run the gauntlet right now where they are healed up. They do have good positioning here on the high ground, but now with Grey down, they can pull the trigger. Ube has a beautiful chance now to go in as Rubicon opens the door.
Where is Rubicon? What have you done with him? Because that is crazy stuff. He gets 2 initial picks. They force a Transcendence, but he gets pushed onto the low ground with it. He's not going to be healing anyone with that. Mozaza follows it up with another kill onto Ube, however, and the players are now respawning for Cloud9. This fight was looking solid for them, but now significantly less so. Still, the fight continues. Primal Rage used here by Meza to try and push the positioning into their favor. Nesh just dodging and juking around the map, seeing if he can pick up a kill or two, and ZP, we're seeing more and more ults being committed.
More and more are coming in. Ube goes back to the fight. The blade is out. He has no health, but don't tell him that. Well, someone probably should have. He does end up falling. However, Bazooka Puppiez, the rest of the team is piling on right now. Nesh is yet to be stopped. Psycho Waffle on a rampage of his own, and now they're well on their way to getting the first tick, and they're looking for more here, Bren. This is big for the Puppies as they almost have this capped.
So much momentum, so much power that they're pushing this in, and now it's the Nano Blade. Nevix, he tries to turn it back. They collect the kill. He zips onto the point. The damage isn't enough for them. Nesh tries to answer back with the Pulse Bomb. Is this going to be it? Can Cloud9 actually stagnate this one? They're so close. Bazooka Puppies have almost got it. It's so close, 92% and counting. The overwhelming damage. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Nesh gets brought down, and with Ube the last man standing here, ZP, it will be Cloud9. They do manage to hold on, 92%.
That was a really nice effort across the board from the Bazooka Puppies. Not only just good support play to hang back and keep people alive, but really nice mobility coming in from Nesh, darting around the point, consistent damage, and practically being immortal, being the final one to fall. So they've gotten 2 ticks off here to begin with, and maybe we'll see if they can keep this up. But with Nesh falling immediately, that actually will cause a reset.
That will kill the fight and reset it, as you mentioned. Right now, Cloud9 in a reasonably happy position with Neptuno holding on to his own Transcendence. Bazooka Puppies, the best way they're going to win this next fight is if they force out this Transcendence early. That's what they really need to be going for, because the advantage they've got coming into this is that they've got 2 defensive support ults, whereas Cloud9 are only working with a single one. If they force Neptuno out, ZP, this could be big for them.
And that's what they're trying to do right now. They're not committing too heavily, but with Mozasa going down, now this is the time to strike. Bazooka Puppies in with the barrier.
Wonderful.
Almost have a Transcendence. Flawless here so far, and they are getting everything they need and more. This is looking like it should be a cap for the Bazooka Puppies, who really do like Hanamura as a home ground.
They absolutely do indeed. The final players start to try and roam their way onto the point, but there you have it. The win condition, Neptuno forcing out his Transcendence, was absolutely what Bazooka Puppies needed there. And they're going to be getting the 2 checkpoints with about 3 minutes on the clock, roughly, give or take. A decent time for Hanamura, you know, and we mentioned this, you know, this is the turning point. Bazooka Puppies, if they were going to take it, it would be here and now. Cloud9, the roles are going to be switched. Now we're going to see them on the attack. Can they bring it to Bazooka Puppies, or will Bazooka Puppies get the defense?
I think no matter what here, Bazooka Puppies should be in a good case, because it's very rare to see an offense actually get a quicker time on Hanamura to where they have more than 3 minutes remaining. So I would say the worst case scenario here for Bazooka Puppies is probably just going in relatively even in the extra rounds. But the important thing for them now is that they have a very good chance of victory here, where if they can get a 2-minute time advantage on C9, that might really be all they need to win in extra rounds. So C9 is certainly under more pressure here between the 2 teams.
Well, compositions, let's take a gander at these ones, because Bazooka Puppies opting on the defense here. They're going to be using Rubicon on the Ana. And again, it's a common pick, I suppose, for this first checkpoint. I mention it every time, but it is a beautiful little pick, because you can play around the high ground, you can play around the long range. More often than not, teams, they usually play the Ana on the, not near the balcony side, but more or less sort of on the steps of the rest of the team. You can see Meza here, there's a classic little angle there, the hanging Winston. And you can just wait there as well with the Winston leap, getting a bit of extra damage as they go through the choke. So Bazooka Puppies setting themselves up in this fight.
I will say I'm not sure I actually agree with the Ana here, and the reason being is that C9 has generally been bullying out Bazooka Puppies in the tank game to begin with, and one thing that really helps keep that even is a Discord Orb.
Yeah.
This means that even though the Bazooka Puppies tanks will be more durable because of Rubicon's healing, they're also going to have a much harder time cutting through and killing both Space and Mozasa here. So we'll see how it pans out, but I just feel like C9 is going to be able to be very durable on this push and wear the Bazooka Puppies down.
Let's see them try and go at it. The Bio Grenade gets sent out. Does connect onto a few, which will force them back for the time being, stall them a little bit, but you can see now Cloud9 going to be looking to see which angle they want to approach this from. But the choke point is thoroughly being contested by the side of Bazooka Puppies. All over the place, the tanks are just running rampant. Mozaza brings down Meza, but traded out in the end.
Mauzasa lived a lot longer there than he would have if a Discord Orb was in play. It did the duty necessary here. 5-on-5, C9 slowly but steadily getting onto the point. Nevix under pressure in the back, but from the front is Mikey. Rubicon is down, and C9 right now is getting the trades you need for this early point.
Looking for the kills indeed, and remember, this is sort of the attacker's advantage coming into this point. Trades are very important. In fact, they're going to be much more important for Cloud9 when it comes to trying to basically claim this checkpoint out from underneath Bazooka Puppiez. But Ube already built up the Dragon Blade, moves in, finds the one kill into space, but Cloud9 are going to answer back with the Sand Barrier, which means nothing's going to be really claimed out of this, but still a solid defense as it stands. Mikey A answers back, the post bomb will bring down Meza.
The good part here for Bazooka Puppiez, even if they lose this point, is that they did burn both the support ultimates, but that could be cold comfort indeed as Nevix. The Blade is in, diving over, finds Psycho Waffle, and that might just be about it for this Blade. And interestingly enough, the flankers for Bazooka Puppiez are still in this fight. They get a few kills, they buy some time, both supports are out, but it does feel like the reinforcements just aren't going to get here in time for the Bazooka Puppiez on the whole.
I mean, Rubicon made the decision to nano boost Nesh into the final moments, just to have a little bit more durability onto the point to prolong it. But ultimately, this fight, I mean, look at this. Meza is really taking it to town with them. Rubicon has managed actually to make it back into this fight along with Psycho Waffle. Mozaza forced off to use the Primal Rage in order to try and claim this fight out. Neptuno does manage to pick up the kill. With the follow-up from this, it will mean that Cloud9 do eventually win this one out. But a decent stall by Bazooka Puppiez, nonetheless.
Well, the good thing about the stall from Bazooka Puppiez, again, is just C9 had to engage a lot of ultimates here. Normally, you would like to be going into point B with at least one support ultimate and perhaps a Dragon Blade or something up here, but they're not going to have anything of the sort, which means that in terms of the game of buying time here, Bazooka Puppiez is pretty close to their goal of having a better time through 2 points.
I could definitely foresee that sort of happening with the sort of situation that Cloud9 are in as it stands. Mikey A, again, the man to watch here. He's got the pulse bomb in hand. He's looking for a good target. Bazooka Puppiez are playing this smart. They've only got a few players here and there, not really enough to try and get those initial kills off. Still, Mikey waiting for the opportunity, and he wants to lay this bomb down. I can feel it. I can feel it. He's going for the kill, possibly. Not quite. Nevix still decides to swift strike into the back, and this is the slow siege by Cloud9.
Well, it's slow, but it's steady. They're going to take down the front line. They haven't lost anyone yet, and Mikey wins the one-on-one with 24 HP remaining. That's huge. Now he gets to stay alive. C9 still with a full team here on the point, and they will answer back with a quicker time.
That's crazy.
You don't see that.
You really don't. I mean, Bazooka Puppiez' time was very good. It was very decent. Cloud9 are like, you know what, lads, step back. Let's show you how it's done. They end up with 5 minutes on the clock. You can't underestimate, you can't understate how good that is on the side of Cloud9. That entire fight was so odd as well. The final fight, the final moments, it was crazy because Cloud9, they weren't rushing it. They weren't taking the initiative. They were just waiting for Bazooka Puppy to slip up.
Well, in a sense, but the thing for Bazooka Puppiez too is that they weren't really contesting C9's entry at all. No. C9 just got to sort of slowly move on to the point. Eventually, they get a kill and they go from there. As a defense, when you have a respawn advantage, it is your duty to contest that more heavily to make sure that even if you do lose a player, at the very least, what should happen is that you trade out somewhat evenly, and that just wasn't the case.
All right, compositions. Let's look at this. Gray is on the Sombra. I like this a lot. You see this every now and then. You get it. You see it pulled out. It's risky, but it can work out in their favor. Gray's going to be hacking up the Mega Half Packs. The entire side of Cloud9 pretty much is just waiting, hiding, crouching. And this is not a common spot. You know, teams, they don't whip out the Hanzo to try and do this, to try and spot this one out.
This is what Laser Kittens was known for before they became C9, is that they had these highly aggressive Hanamura defenses. They had an incredible first hold against Misfits doing this a season ago. Now we'll see if the Puppies are prepared as the ambush is in, and Meza, see ya!
See you later, indeed. Meta needs to be super careful here. Space is the one claiming all the kills. Goodness me, that is crazy. They need to get back onto the point a little bit. Somebody was contesting the point to a degree, but ultimately Cloud9, it was a risky proposition, but it paid off for them. And now they've still got Gray as well, setting up. He's going to have that EMP most likely for the next fight.
And when C9 does this aggressive defense strategy, they don't just do it once and then go back to the norm. What they did the last time we saw this is that they changed up where they were ambushing from, but they were always ambushing, always being sneaky and catching the other team off guard. And oh, well, that hurts. Mikey's going to fall immediately, and now they do have to back out.
Absolutely. I mean, the only silver lining I can really see there is that Tracer can get back into the fight quickly. You know, he can zip over the edges, over the gaps and whatnot, but still not a pick you want to be losing here. And that has given Bazooka Puppiez an opening. But that opening immediately shut closed right in their faces as Mozaza brings down Rubicon. The hack onto Ube means he can't even initiate into this fight. And look at that. The EMP lays it in, hacked up targets. Is this going to be enough for them? I think it might be, as Cloud9 are looking so good.
Ube, he might not have even wanted to climb that wall in the end. In fact, it is Meza going to join him. They're off on a forced exploration to scenic Hanamura. But the bigger problem here, Bren, for the Bazooka Puppiez is that they are down to their final minute 30. C9 is reinvigorated. They're coming back out on the aggression here for this defense. And Nevix, his blade, thirsty for blood.
Yeah, the troubling scenario as well for me as well is that the only support, defensive support all the Bazooka Puppiez have is the sound barrier. And Gray is so close to the EMP. They need to be super careful with how they expend this sound barrier because it could be that Gray just completely negates it, completely counters it out now. And Cloud9, not to mention, they've already got the Dragon Blade, they've got the Pulse Bomb, they've got ults to use to try and stall this one out, and only a minute on the clock left, CP.
Bazooka Puppiez right now looking for any way in. They desperately need to get at least one tick here. And now there's the opportunity. The EMP is in right after the sound barrier. It strips the EMP and C9 reading the Bazooka Puppiez like a book.
Game over, man. Game over. Nesh, he tries to play the point, but it's not enough. You know, one man against the wall, what can you realistically do? And he just stands still. He accepts his fate. He gives it up. Still, 30 seconds remaining. Cloud9, they did expend a few ults for that. The Sound Barrier and the Dragon Blade and the EMP was used. Now, Bazooka Puppiez, that was technically an eco push if you don't count the Sound Barrier being completely negated there. And they do have a Transcendence to initiate in. This is go time, ZP. This is their time to shine.
Ube's mission here, don't get blown up by Diva. Same for anyone that might be in the Transcendence. So Ube right now, rolling on to the point, nothing too crazy here. Holding on to the blade, and now the blade is out. Well away from a Diva, slices down Neptuno, and looking for more. Easily moving back onto the point. Ube has done some good work here for the Bazooka Puppiez in overtime.
Yeah, getting that D-Mech is really cannot be understated again, how important that is for the team. It's set them up for this, and now you can just follow up the kills because there's no peel for them. There's no defensive peel. Gray still tries to play the point to a degree. He has the EMP, but he's not going to commit it. He's going to be holding on to this EMP now for the final checkpoint. The overtime ticks down, and Bazooka Puppiez, they got a little bit of a leeway, a small, tiny, minuscule opening of 30 seconds for them to try and make a play happen. It's do or die, ZP.
These are the 30 seconds of destiny right now, Bren. Now 20 seconds. If they want to have a realistic chance of winning this map, they really do need to get a tick here on second as well. Mete right now holding in the back line. He's going to open up some fireworks, Bren, but the EMP comes in first.
It's so good, man. The aggressive EMP. They weren't expecting it at all, and the D-Mech comes out. He's forced to pop the self-destruct in such an unfavorable position that the overtime will tick down. But Bazooka Puppiez, they spent their sweet time trying to make that work. Nevix now with the Dragon Blade just to try and secure things up, slicing and dicing his way through the opposition. And it won't even be a single tick, only 3 checkpoints, only 3 points on the board here for Bazooka Puppiez. And Cloud9, they have 5 minutes to check the first checkpoint here as the rounds are switched rounds. And then another 30 seconds on top of that if they do manage to cap it, which they most likely will, to win this map out.
This is very difficult now for the Bazooka Puppiez. I mean, we're going to have to see them level up their play by multiple levels and then have a somewhat unrealistic hold here where not only do they have to hold off first for an extremely long period of time, longer than norm, but then they have to avoid getting 1 tick on the second.
Yeah.
This is going to require a shutdown defense that catches C9 off guard at every point, and thus far we haven't really seen the Bazooka Puppiez capable of finding that level of play.
Well, here we have it, the setup time for now. Cloud9 on the attack, Bazooka Puppiez on the defense. Supports-wise, not going to be utilizing the Ana for now. I mean, this is your biggest gripe, I think, with their composition in the previous round, wasn't it? The fact that they were running Rubicon on the Ana as opposed to the Zen. Now, let's see how it actually does work out for them. If it does work out in their favor, you know all good. But regardless, I mean, I'm curious to see how will it actually play out.
Well, the difference here is that Mozaza can't deep dive as deeply as he did on the last C9 attack, where he simply lived for an incredibly long period of time because he was tanky. There was no Discord Orb in play, and unless you make your tanks live longer with the contribution of the Ana, it's actually a difficult trade to win, particularly when you have been getting outplayed somewhat in the tank sphere.
Cloud9 are rolling out, checking their surroundings, looking for the right opening, and it looks like Malzaza, he just wants to say, jumping straight in through the main area, puts in a bit of damage into Ube, but forced to back off. He's very weak, wants to go for the Mega Halfback instead. The rest of his team are working the angles especially nicely. Mikey A in the back lines, trying to make it happen, but the D-Mech comes out into space. That could be pretty big for him.
The D-Mech is out, but Malzaza is back in, under pressure, and will fall. Nesh right now doing a lot of work in and around, but C9 is still trading out reasonably well here as Nevix gets into the back himself. This is not good for the Bazooka Puppies, given the momentum here on this point. Mikey, now in hot pursuit, sees a Genji as his prey, moving in and around. Ube in trouble, and Mikey has to rewind. Can't finish it off immediately, but it's fine, because Nevix is there.
Yeah, well, this will mean Cloud9 are going to be capping this first checkpoint up with ease, it feels like, and they're going to have plenty of time to get even just a single tick on the board here for this next checkpoint. 4.5 minutes to make it happen. Ultimates-wise, they're not really working with too much other than Mikey A's pulse bomb, but that might just be all they need to try and get even a tick.
The problem here for Bazooka Puppies is that they have to prioritize standing on the point more than you'd really want here just because of that one-tick game-ending threat. And C9, they immediately take the high ground. Bazooka Puppies, they concede it right away, and now C9 has a great vantage point. They drop down, get the early kill, and the pressure is already on.
With that first kill, the pulse bomb sent out won't actually find any kills, but the pulse bomb, the soundbar, I should say, wants to be used now. Nevix with the Dragon Blade will slice through the opposition, finds enough damage, but the Transcendence will keep a few of them alive for the time being. With the timer going down here, ZP Ube tries to clutch it out. All of Cloud9 is having a little adventure underneath the bridge for whatever reason, but still this fight will be fought out into the bitter end.
C9 right now with an enormous advantage. They just need a little bit more. Respawns are coming in, but that's how you take the advantage away.
Big.
The pulse bomb equalizing, giving breathing room now for the Bazooka Puppies. And with that pulse bomb, there's still a little bit of hope as Space caught in the freezer.
Yeah, Space is going to get staggered to absolute hell.
Oh no!
Oh! Meta! Oh, what a body block! That's, I mean, maybe that's an overreaction, but I just love seeing stuff like that happen. It's so cool, the little meta games that appear within them. We were screaming like it was a 6K with a Dragon Blade. Like, what is this Winston body blocking?
He just got there right in the nick of time. That was great. Oh my goodness, Winston. If there's anything you can do, you can block doorways.
Yeah, he's a big guy, that Winston. But look at this, Cloud9. Now it's their time to strike once again, looking to try and take the upper area, the balcony area from them. Mikey just playing the low ground, still has the pulse bomb in the hand. And if he gets a pick, this could be curtains for them still. The point will start to get played. Healing up for the time being, working their magic. Now Malzaza, he moves in with the Primal Rage, ZP.
Malzaza moving in early on, but the quick picks here from Bazooka Puppies working out rather well in their favor. Think about how much time they've already bought here, Bren, where this is likely going to be a good defense. It's unlikely C9 will bring this back because of what they've lost, and C9's actually going to be down to their final 2 minutes. Good stuff.
I feel like C9 there, that was almost like an eco push. They were trying to force out a support ult in the end, but it didn't really work out for them. If Meza doesn't get picked off here, wow, what a save as well. Not only does he manage to pick up Gray, but he also manages to get out alive. Now, this is the plays that Bazooka Puppies needed to be making. This is the stuff that they needed to be doing here. And he's still got Rubicon with his Transcendence and Psycho Waffle with his Soundbarrier to boot this. Now, Cloud9, you got to be a bit scared for them because a minute 40, they're not really playing this too effectively.
No, they aren't. And Bazooka Puppies, they have the tools they need to have a defense here for another 2 runs, which is all it takes. They have both the Transcendence and the Barrier. They just need to contest this, which they're not. They don't contest in the back. They almost get picked off by Mikey, and now the pressure is on from C9, who easily takes the high ground.
They force Rubicon out of his Transcendence pretty early on. Now Neptuno wants to try and layer it down with his own Soundbarrier to self-destruct into the back. Won't find too many kills, but now it's the answer back by Bazooka Puppies as Mozaza will end up falling still. The tracking from Nevix from above will find the headshots, find the kills. Rubicon falls. Now Meza wants to try and take this 1v1 with him, but again, I'm not a fan of this one, lad. You just tried to take a fight with the devil. He's on the high ground, ZP, and he's making mincemeat of them.
The tracking just became a little bit more beautiful there. The tack visor came in. Plenty of room for Nevix. And that's why you can't give up the high ground so easily. C9 takes what Bazooka Puppies gives them and wins with it. You gotta contest an offense a little bit more than that.
Ooh, okay, my goodness. 3 maps, Cloud9 winning map number 3, Hanamura being Bazooka Puppies' pick as well. You can't underestimate that stuff. But that was shockingly close in the final moments. That could have turned to anyone's fight because Bazooka Puppies, they were doing it. They had the ults to hold it. But Cloud9 again with a superior team fight. couple of misplays by Cloud9 in the final fights, I gotta say. There was one moment where we spotted them and all of Cloud9 was below the bridge, just having a little wander about for some reason. Who knows why? But in the end, they did manage to clinch it out, taking Hanamura away.
The thing for C9, though, is that they were so dominant on their first attack that they gave themselves room to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Where, okay, they weren't playing super well towards the end of Hanamura, but guess what? When you have 5 minutes left in your time bank, you earn the right to have a few bad pushes and like screw things up.
Yeah.
Because you do have that buffer there, and in the end, they had just enough time needed to get the final tick and win that map.
Well, the next map will be, once again, Bazooka Puppiez' pick, but they're going to be playing for, once again, it's going to be sort of the tiebreaker score. And at this point with Bazooka Puppiez, I mean, this is a loss, you know, regardless of what happens. And it will be Gibraltar that we're going for, as you can see, you know, all Cloud9 across the bottom of our screens right now. Will this be Cloud9 again? Are we going to see a repeat of the last series where they got full held at the car wash? Is this going to be happening? I mean, who knows? The way Cloud9 have been playing, it's been dominant.
C9's been looking very good indeed, and really going into this, again, Bazooka Puppiez haven't really given us much reason to believe that they're going to be able to pull this one back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you think about it, Hanamura was their best map. That's a map where they were able to beat Gamers Origin on earlier in the season. But even going to Hanamura, which they have looked above par on, they weren't able to get it through in the end, despite what was a very good first attack.
I gotta say, I am very impressed with Cloud9's performance overall. Like, I know the previous week sort of set high standards for us, I guess, in terms of what Cloud9 were capable of, but even still seeing them now follow it up in the next week when there was question marks raised whether it was going to be Sinatra, who was really the driving force for Cloud9, with him gone, with Mikey A coming in. I gotta say, they're still putting in a very well-fought performance, but the same goes to Bazooka Puppiez. For a team against Cloud9, a lot of people were predicting, you know, this was going to be a 4-0 game. Bazooka Puppiez have put up a very valiant effort in this defense against the Cloud9 onslaught.
I think it's a little bit unfortunate for Bazooka Puppiez that they made the change-up of getting Nesh in as late as they did.
Yeah.
Because I think if you look back at some of their earlier matches against, say, Gamers Origin, I do think that it would have made a difference. I think that it might have, I don't know if it would have swayed the series to them, but it would have made it a lot more competitive. Unfortunately for Bazooka Puppiez, C9 is a very good team with their recent revamps, and they've struggled to get the better of them.
Well, we see Bazooka Puppiez there on the attack this time, ladies and gentlemen, and they're teasing us with a few little compositions again. I imagine that they might honestly stick with something similar to this, because Nesh is an outstanding Widowmaker player. I wouldn't be surprised to see him stick on this. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rubicon just stay on Hanzo for the first initial sort of way, so they can check the corners with the Sonic Arrow. But other than that, Cloud9 looking like on the defense, sticking with, again, traditional dive, but Gray on the Ana.
I think that C9 will have to give Bazooka Puppiez a bit of space here. They're not really positioned to go full-on aggression, and the spot where they're holding right now is one where you really can get just poked down by Widow, as Nesh already almost finding Mikey early on. Wasn't a headshot, which is what he needed, but now they know the threat of the Widowmaker, and you take a look at this, Bren, they are backing quite a ways out.
Yeah, they need to show him respect. Nesh is a fantastic Widowmaker player. Like, we saw it at TakeOver 2 all the time. This man was incredible, just popping off for days, and we will soon see if he can really turn up for Bazooka Puppiez in their time of need. Now, rolling out, Cloud9, again, not really just showing complete respect to Nesh. They're not letting any angles get through at all.
Nesh right now taking the tiniest of angles, but still finding ways of getting shots. And while he's doing that, by the way, the rest of Bazooka Puppiez was able to wrap around the back. Now Nesh, though, needs to roll forward and join his team, because they're fighting a 5v6 right now. He was out of the fight for quite a while, but the headshot is in. It's going to demech the Diva, and the Widow threat is still very real.
Still, the kills will be traded equally. I mean, Nesh at this point, they can kind of just ignore him if they want to try and focus on the ground war, which is what Cloud9 are trying to do, but as a result, they just ended up losing, you know? The angles were played because Nesh was just there as a threat. Even if he wasn't hitting his shot, so to speak, he got the demech. That was the most important thing they could have realistically wished in that entry fight, in that entry kill.
The other thing, too, is that C9 was holding really far back, which let the main force of Bazooka Puppiez wrap around and get in there more uncontested than you would like for Watchpoint Gibraltar. So the Widow definitely putting in work. We'll see how long he stays on it, though, as C9's defense is coming right back out.
Ube with a Dragon Blade. One slice will bring down Gray. Looks for the follow-up. We'll get Boots back. Opts to use the reflect, but he will most likely fall here as he's being brought down very rapidly indeed. Nevix answered back with his own blade. In fact, now he wants to go for Nesh. Wants to try and go for these seconds, but You try and peek him, that's what you're going to get. Space now tries to take the fight. This should be Nesh dying, surely. 29 HP? Oh my god, he's still alive because of the Harmony Orb. This is crazy. And he gets the D-Mech! Wow, no, that's actually huge!
That is really big because now the Diva will be out of the mech for quite a while. Nesh will have one big threat that could go in on him removed, and he's also just put the Fear of God into C9 right now, where this is why he's drawing Mozasa back. If Mozasa's on him, he's not Ube, who just went into their backline!
Ube moves into the back. Doesn't have a Dragon Blade to work with, but, I mean, realistically, what more does he need? The Sand Barrier now going to be concatenated on top of Bazooka Puppiez. They're fanging the kills. The switch strike into Nevix will bring him down, cutting him in half. This payload is not stopping in the slightest here, ladies and gentlemen. They're moving forward. 4 minutes on the clock with space about to fall. This will be a rapid time indeed for Bazooka Puppiez.
Can I just note the sad irony there where Mozasa removed himself from the fight to fight Nesh? It freed up Ube to do whatever he wanted without the Winston pressure, and then Mozasa wasn't even able to finish off Nesh. Nesh got the kill on him when he tried to retreat
still on
back.
Widow. He's still on the Widowmaker. This is such a powerful sightline as well, ZP. Coming into this, like, they cannot move out of their spawn right now. Nesh is happy to just plan himself up here, and now the players are going to start to move out. But look at this, Space is forced to just use all of his defense matrix to try and even get out of spawn.
The demon is dead. Nesh has fallen. Oh, the
disturbed.
Widow Mine got Mikey! Are you kidding me right now? Even from beyond the grave, Nesh finding a key pickoff, and the Bazooka Puppies are still applying relentless amounts of pressure.
I'm expecting looking for Team Overwatch League posts from Nesh coming up after this, because my goodness, the guy has been playing out of his mind. And they're, again, showing no signs of slowing down in the slightest. 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. This payload is moving into the final checkpoint, ZP, and there's ults to be used.
Ults are still up here for the Bazooka Puppies. They have a huge, well, they have an edge in positioning. C9, they're down 2 players. They have some ults of their own, but they have to use it more for stalling right now than anything else. Self-destruct in over the top. Here comes the blade. Ube slicing, dicing, rolling his way right in. That's going to be a double for Ube, and so much more as the Bazooka Puppies maintain dominant positioning right now on the point.
Oh, sounds like it's melted in the process. Nevix tries to move in with the Dragon Blade, but Nesh is there. The damage is done. The reflex comes out the car, rolling forward. All they've got to do is focus down these last few players, pushing them away. The Sound Barrier, Space, the last man standing. It's not going to matter because they've got 3.5 minutes on the 3rd checkpoint. That is a time and a half. All off the back of Nesh's Widow play, all off the back of superior team play. Where was this Bazooka Puppies when we needed them? Why are they only showing up now?
Well, this is the first time they've brought out Widowmaker.
That's true. Maybe they should have just popped him out like all the time. Like Gibraltar is one of those maps where you can run Widow full time. But goodness gracious me, man, that is crazy.
Right there, of course, that's a key D-Mech that really opened things up here. But again, think about the psychology that's going on here where he draws Mozasa back to him in second, finishes him off here where he tries to go back. It wasn't just what Nesh was killing, it's what he was doing to the psychology of C9 and how they had to radically alter how they engaged and how they positioned because of the threat of that Widowmaker.
Yeah, the funny thing is as well is that they're not even playing on the newly buffed Widowmaker patch. They're still playing on the old Widowmaker patch where her Venomine now doesn't basically show people through walls when it's set off, and also her grappling hook has been lowered from 12 to 8 seconds. You know, he's playing on the old Widow. He's doing all this and more. He's pulling players back. That's what's so impressive about this.
You think it was hard for Mozasa to chase him down right now? Think about next patch when that grapple is 8 seconds. Like,
that's crazy.
That's a much harder task for a Winston, and Nesh was still able to do enough damage and have enough mobility to shake pressure and stay in the fight. So can't say enough good about that. Now though, Bren, what are we seeing here from the C9 offense, which is probably not what they're running?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be running Grey on RSI. I also don't think they're going to be running Grey on Widowmaker, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. They could be running the solo support in the middle of it, but I do doubt it. However, Bazooka Puppiez now on the defense. They're going to be happy with the time they've secured at least, because that is going to make it a very long, very hard hill here for Cloud9 to sort of try and climb and come back from it.
You know what, Gray? I would have had more respect for you if you went for the Widow. Don't get shown up by another Widowmaker. Fight the power.
Find the power, my man. Here we go. But Gray, he's on the cart. He's slamming in the damage, but it does not matter because Ube is there. He just slams him into the ground along with Mikey A. They're not messing around here. Bazooka Puppies, this is like, do you know what this reminds me of? This is rogue strat for Gibraltar. You play hyper-aggressive onto the cart, you get the kills, but it doesn't matter because your spawn is so close that even if you die, even if you trade out, it still works out well because you can defend.
Really, if they had a baguette on them right now, I would agree it is vintage Rogue in a sense. At least on the defense right now, where they're holding C9 back, it's good pressure. They're getting good heals, but with Meza going down, they need to concede some space here. They're gonna lose Psycho, and suddenly C9 is finding a way through.
Running the players into the point, they are eventually going to be running out of bodies to just sort of launch at it. They do stall it a decent way, but look at this, the cart's still not even moved underneath the car wash. They will finally clean up almost everyone from Bazooka Puppies, but by the time they get this up through the car wash, it's going to be time, because Bazooka Puppies, they're going to have the players alive, and they're going to have ults to use.
The good thing here for Bazooka Puppies too, they don't have to play to stop completion. They have to just play the drain time.
Yes.
If they drain most of the time, their time advantage would be so high that it'd be a really easy slam dunk to win. C9 though, applying the pressure here into the choke point, not letting Bazooka Puppies get out for free, but here's a nano boost, and they're gonna roll right out anyways.
I love this play. Rubicon using the nano boost down to Meze. He wants to run into the back lines. Now he's also gonna be using the Primal Rage, I believe, into the final moments here, but Nevix now tries to answer back with the blade, but gets peeled back by Mete, brought down in the nick of time.
Bazooka Puppies keeping up the pressure, defending their turf, and they go through the server room, they take down the supports, and C9 back to the drawing board here, Bren.
This is wonderful.
2 minutes remaining, and this does feel like a reinvigorated Bazooka Puppy team.
I can't believe what we're seeing. It's very much akin to, I'm going to refer back to Takeover 2 here, but Misfits, when they lost the third map and they had to play the fourth map and they realized, you know, their chances were up, it was like an entirely different team was playing, you know. It's like they flipped a switch. That's almost like what we're seeing here with Bazooka Puppies. They've turned it around. They're playing. Their team play is fantastic. They're peeling it correctly. They're using their ults at the right time.
Bazooka Puppies now getting ready for the next defense. C9 taking the attack from the high ground, but on below. Nesh finds Gray early on, no pulse bomb required, and they've already cut the C9 push off at the knees.
So good. Mikey A is in trouble as well. 41 HP. Needs to be careful, needs to back off for the time being, but finally Cloud9 are answering back for the time being. They get a pick onto Meza, the main tank gone, and now the nano boost was actually going to be committed there, I believe, onto Ube, was it? I believe they wanted to try and make it so he could build up the Dragon Blade in time. But ultimately now still opting to use it. Ube, Dragon Blade unsheathed. He wants to try and go for these kills. He brings down Neptuno. Will he bring down Mikey A? Not quite, as he claims the health pack in the end.
Why is Gray using Transcendence there? Half of your team is in spawn. Congratulations, you've survived Ube's Dragon Blade, but now you can't transcend in the final minute. That is a great trade for Ube, and not a very good trade at all for C9.
I'm struggling to sort of understand the thought process here by Cloud9 because they are getting full held here at the car wash. I mean, I expected this to be the other way around. I expected Cloud9 to be full holding Bazooka Puppies. Not this way. Not like this, you know. This is something else like entirely. Mikey A, he's got a pulse bomb and a dream, but all of the targets he wants, all of those juicy 200 HP targets are all on the high grounds on the back. Still, he lets it go, picks up the kill into Meza, and that's going to set things up.
Much cleaner opening here from C9, but Ube still a threat into the back. The self-destruct, layering itself in, pushing C9 back even more. Gray under pressure and not able to shake it as Bazooka Puppies on the verge of this first point hold. C9 now must touch the payload. Here comes Nevix. The blade out. Doesn't finish the Lucio. Goes back the other way. Swing and a miss. And Bazooka Puppies can still come back into this fight.
What is happening here? He didn't get anything from the blade, the peel, the perfection coming out from them. Still, Cloud9 are looking to answer back with this one. They're going to be running the bodies into it. Now the nano boost comes out. Ube, he doesn't even have a Dragon Blade to use, but he's building it up significantly. He might have it for the tail end of this fight. Space gets de-mech'd in the midst of it. The overtime ticking down here. Does Ube have the Dragon Blade? Yes, he does. And now ZP, it's time to strike.
He's going right in. The blade is out, and it's true. A double, no, triple kill for Ube.
I don't believe it.
In for the Bazooka Puppies. Are they actually going to hold this back? Mikey, he's on the payload. Don't let him sneak it, as Mikey is the last one remaining. Under pressure, has to fall back, will be falling instead.
I don't believe what I've just witnessed. What is that? Cloud9 somehow not managing to even capture the first checkpoint. on Gibraltar, and Bazooka Puppiez, they claim a map. Like, where was this Bazooka Puppiez? Where were they when this was happening? It's actually mental to think about, because they've shown they've got the talent. They've shown they've got the skills. They've shown they've got them to pay the bills. And it's just not working out at all. Like, how? How did they let it get this late into the tournament to finally show up?
How has C9 let their pumpkins be slashed in such a terrible manner? Well, this is part of it. Ube, of course, finishing Dragon Blade here towards the end. And it was a beauty. It did hold it in at the end. But I think the true good thing about that defense is that it was scrappy, it was buying time, and then even if C9 did get through there, they were going up against a pretty rough time deficit even to begin with.
Honestly, you got to pin it down to Bazooka Puppiez' forward aggression at the start. The rogue sort of esque play that they were doing, ramming the bodies into the payload right at the start, just outside the gates, buying them enough time, just stalling, just stalling, just stalling. Sublime, honestly.
All right, guys. Well, to talk to us about comebacks and stealing ties, let's throw it to the desk.